I don't know where you are going and what are you making. But maybe you met 10 persons and teach them what you learned here. Then it was me, 1 person, you, 10 persons. Yes, it's like this. You take a stone and you throw it in the water. You don't know how many waves it makes. But it's important to make these waves, that the thinking, that the believing, and that the knowledge get not lost.
The Belvedere is a historic building complex in Vienna, consisting of 2 Baroque palaces, the Upper and Lower Belvedere, the Orangery, the palace stables, and the parks and gardens. The whole complex is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site Historic Centre of Vienna. The ensemble contains some of Vienna's most impressive buildings. The Baroque palace complex was built as a summer residence for Prince Eugene of Savoy.
But he has no successors, he had no kids, so he gave his real estate to his niece. And afterwards, Maria Theresia purchased the castle, the palace, and also the furniture and also the books.
Participants of the European Heritage Training course had a chance to immerse themselves in the unique blend of art and architecture at the Belvedere complex. Today, Belvedere is a collection of historical and modern buildings that double as art museums, showcasing some of the most celebrated works of art in the world, including famous paintings by Gustav Klimt. The European Heritage Training course at the Belvedere Palace provided participants an insight into the theoretical and practical aspects of stone conservation. Participants had the chance to have a complete overview of the work of a conservationist restorer. The overview, guided by expert restorers, encompassed all the steps of the process, starting from the theoretical basis and basic documentation to finalising retouches on restored sculptures.
Well, it's obviously a great honor to be here, to have been chosen as one of the very privileged people who had the chance to work on such a site. I have never worked on such an important building and also in such a visible place.
The training course introduced participants to the history, materials, and techniques of stone conservation.
We were giving a basis regarding certain knowledge from geology, as well as we were surrounded by people who have years of experience and who really wanted to share that knowledge with us without making us feel like we are the beginners and they're really experienced.
I am getting to know many theoretical parts of stone conservation, which very good professionals. We are having very good lectures, high level. Conservators are talking to us. We can ask whatever all the time.
The theoretical component provided the knowledge basis required for practical work, centred primarily on the statues flanking the main entrance to the Upper Belvedere Palace. Participants were tasked with the documentation, cleaning the sculptures, the removal of fillings, and with the reconstruction of missing parts.
We are restoring the 2 sculptures in front of the Belvedere, Upper Belvedere castle.
We've been documenting the damage, writing notes and doing drawings. And I think now I know how to look at things differently, see how it was made, see how the surface changes, and also how to notice the changes over time, like in historical terms, like when was it made and how, for instance, if the Second World War arrived, and how things in monuments change over time.
The combined practical and theoretical experience was broadened further with guided visits to other heritage sites in Vienna, giving participants an insight into conservation restoration at heritage sites throughout the city.
This was my first time in Austria, so I am discovering the country and the city right now. And I really enjoyed because we are visiting touristic places, but from another point of view, not the typical touristic point of view, but from the inside.
We also visited the atelier of the Restoration Center for Austria, so we also got the chance to really see the places where restorers work.
For the duration of the training course, participants had the unique opportunity to live in the beautiful Mauerbach Charterhouse, a former Carthusian monastery founded in the 14th century and changed from the 17th century onwards into its current, mainly Baroque, appearance.
Which is really an amazing place, a unique opportunity to work on a heritage site and in the meantime staying in another heritage site.
I think it was also a perfect combination and a perfect contrast in a way with crowded Belvedere. Mauerbach is, as we all know, a former monastery, and therefore it offers this solitude.
The complex hosts the Information and Education Centre of the Federal Heritage Administration of Austria, providing participants with guided visits and extensive theoretical instruction on heritage philosophy and practices of heritage intervention.
We had the chance to visit the Mauerbach Karthaus, which is a very important center that has a very specific approach on conservation of art as well as the preservation of traditional techniques.
You must feel the place, you must smell the place, you must taste the place, that you can understand the place. And only if you understand the place, you're able to repair something on this building, on this park. And then you can think about what is allowed to change and what has to stay. That the place is still able to tell its history.
The opportunity of experiencing an insightful overview of the whole restoration process, from its theoretical preconception to the final steps, whilst working on a site as renowned as the Belvedere in Vienna, was an outstanding characteristic of the European Heritage Training course.
In the end, when you, after hard work, months, maybe even years of hard work, then you come back to this object and you see it and it's finished, it looks very nice, you're just satisfied. It's a satisfying job actually. And also here in this public space, people walk around, the tourists see it, and even if they don't know that you are part of this artwork, it makes you proud.